Tech Niger FM, where we amplify the voices, shaping the futures of technology across Africa and beyond. Today, I'm excited to have a conversation with someone who I've been following lately, um, and his work sits right at the intersection of engineering excellence, cloud, and developer tooling. He has been doing a whole lot in the .NET space lately, and is a lead engineer, a software architect, a DevOps engineer, and he just released another version of a library which I've contributed to called TickerQ. It's actually a background job processing library, and it has been making waves in the .NET community lately. He has worked on cloud technology from Azure to AWS, and he has led quite numbers of teams while building high-scale distributed system. Not uh, local, but a global company. So, in today's episode, I'm happy that we'll be talking about building reliable background job system, the engineering uh, behind TickerQ, the lesson that he has gathered over the months, years of building the library. And today is a pleasure to have Albert on the show. Albert, welcome to Tech Niger FM. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Sorry, my internet is kind of acting weirdly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you for inviting me to your channel, Babatunda. So, my name is Albert, and I'm more like a software engineer and also an DevOps. I do have experience in Azure and more like in AWS lately. I've been working on TickerQ. It's an open source project, so I started like 3 years ago, and now it's like becoming popular widely, as you know.
Yes.
TickerQ is more just a background job scheduler, and it's based on the .NET. So I'm more a .NET enthusiast, so that's why I built it up in the .NET. In like previous years, I had experience also in the other languages like PHP, Node.js, but yeah, the .NET is my favorite one. But in general, like I can speak for background job scheduling, and TickerQ is not aiming to be only in the .NET. We are working on building the SDKs, which will provide also the cross-platforming, like supporting Java, Node.js, and the other languages.
Thank you so much for that particular welcome message. I really appreciate that. Let's get into it. You mentioned about TickerQ now, which I know is actually what you're building. But I basically want to ask a few questions. What actually inspired you
Sure.
to build that particular open source library? Because you've seen a few gaps in some of the background processing library that we have in the .NET ecosystem. But there might be something, I believe there will be something that push you into building that particular library. So we just want to know about what actually pushed you into building that particular library. A lot of people are using it now. It's actually going viral now. So we just want to know what inspired you to build TickerQ and what are the gaps that you see in the .NET ecosystem.
Yeah, I'm actually like a new generation in the .NET, and when I see the old like libraries, which is really hard to implement, which were stuck in the kind of old syntax. For example, like existing libraries which are still in the .NET, some of them are like you have to do with XML configuration, and some of them has still to do the reflection based, which is not like type safe to do that. So I was thinking, okay, there is another better like way to handle background jobs, and I saw like Azure Functions. Azure Functions is like my favorite one in the past, which I used to implement kindly the same thing as no, it's built up TickerQ. You have just to define the function, And with easy configuration, like 2 or 3 lines, yeah, you're ready to build up your application in the background. Like the banks, they have a lot of methods which run in the background. And yeah, this kind of stuff, in case that it gets like the project large, more complex, it's like too hard to maintain that, and it's not predictable. So I was thinking, okay, maybe I should start to do something like that. And my first version that I built it up, it was actually 1.0, which I have used in my previous company for a bank. I'm not mentioning names right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, it kind of handled really well the background jobs for the bank. So delivering the data to asset managers. That's why I was thinking, okay, this is proved by me that this project is going to work like in the other projects. It was reflection based. I started to build up the TickerQ 2.0 and publish it open source so everyone can use it. Uh, I started to make it perfect, but when it comes to make things perfect, you're always wrong because later you will see that okay, this is not perfect. And I also my version right now is not perfect. I'm gonna build something better. I knew that. So I was chasing perfection, started to build dashboard, building a lot of stuff, and my friends were telling me, okay, you have just to push something, but people can see it. If they prove that it's like a good project, you will have like that motivation to keep it up.
Yes.
And that's how I get pushed like my initial version. At first, I got a lot of feedbacks, which like lots of them were good ones, and I had lots of them which were not good ones because I was starting to support multiple SDKs, and it gets a conflict because we are trying to do something modern but trying to support also the legacy one. That's
Yes.
why I shifted to make totally new version of TickerQ, which is V8, V9, V10 right now, which is a stable product in .NET. And right now I have few less issues and people are not complaining like that. And for me, it's easier to maintain because I'm maintaining something in modern. I'm not trying to maintain like the whole ecosystem legacy and modern one because it kind of have a conflict. So I choose to be like the modern because TickerQ is built up for modern application, and this is how it will go.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is like a general overview how I started and how I ended up with TickerQ.
Yeah, so because the last time we spoke, you said you are building the fashion, I think, of V8 and V9, something like that, just
Yeah,
to support the near fashion of .NET SDK that are coming uh, on board. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate your explanation about what actually inspire you in building TickerQ. The other thing that I also noticed is that the background job system can be tricky. So, in your own
yeah,
experience, what are the common mistakes, like mistakes that developer make when handling like background tags? Because I've seen a lot of even on the issue logs, I've seen a lot of little things that developer are actually racing on the open source library, but there are some things that they can actually raise as a PR, fix it for them and the like. So I just want to expatiate in your own experience. What are the most common mistakes that developer makes when handling background tags?
yeah. When handling the background, like in the core implementation, is the hardest part because you have everything in there. You have the scheduler running in the background service of .NET. You have like the loop which is running for checking the new tasks, and there are like lots of links like with the persistence and the way that I created the other packages, which are not like dependent package, but once you install it based on the action like a callback, it will become like dependent on that point. So that's the common mistake because they changed the infrastructure on my side. And I also changed a lot of infrastructure because I got the new ideas and new kind of stuff. But when people start to work on the TickerQ, they just avoid like working on the core side because that's also the thread pool implementation. You have to have lots of experience, like how the threads are managed, how the asynchron is running. And if you have inline like async tasks, which will be executed in the same context of the thread. And yeah, this is like you have to learn a lot how the entire .NET works in order like to build up something complex in
Yeah.
that port. But with some help, probably struggling with days or weeks, and asking AI as well, I'm not much fan of AI because kind of drops your dopamine when you have to work like in really complex stuff and you just try to find the easiest solution in that part by AI. So that's I like to struggle and to learn things in that way. But yeah, for most of the easiest stuff like APIs and these kind of stuff, yeah, AI is like a shortcut for that because it helps you a lot in that aspect.
Yeah, that's true. Lately, a lot of things are actually going on with the AI. And I will still come to that particular question because I have few questions that I want to ask you regarding AI, which I believe a lot of things going lately regarding AI, and you see a lot of companies, this AI, that AI, AI this, AI that, and you'll be like,
Yeah,
where are we? Where are we? Everything is AI. So, but lately, I think both the good sides and the bad side of AI, we are actually trying to experience it nowadays because you see a lot of all these bad guys using AI to generate image, voice, and the likes, and they're actually doing bad thing with it. But I'll still come back to that. I'll still come back to that. The other thing that I also noticed is that when we talk about reliability, retries, failure, uh, how are you able to accommodate all this into the open source project called TickerQ that you actually beat? Because Nick Chapchas posted a video about that particular library. That is even when I got a notification about that library before I started looking into issues log, pull requests, and the likes. So I just want to know how you are able to approach reliability, like the retries, failures, concurrency, when you actually design TickerQ, especially for this version 8 and 9 that you just launched.
yeah. Before going to your question, I want to say something for AI. Yeah,
Okay.
if my project was before AI, I know for sure that it would be like more famous because yeah, everybody is like uh layer like eyes or in the AI. And when you build up something which is not AI, it's not fun anymore, right? Yeah, I want to go like to your question right now. So for handling like retries and this kind of stuff, like you have to know only the fundamentals of the .NET, like how the scopes are created and what if you like dispose one scope. If that scope is disposed, like you cannot access the circular things, and how to not make like a circular dependency injection. These kind of, it's not basic one. You have to deep dive how that works in general. And if you know that, you can just easily just create one other scope for that one. I took like the idea from the controllers in the .NET. So for each request, it generates you a new scope, and in the constructor, it injects your services, and you get like that services from the service collection, which is created by a service provider. So if you have that knowledge, like if you like to deep dive in the .NET, so everything is possible, and it
Yeah.
makes you like much easier to get into this kind of stuff and to do the implementation. If you know like how the things are handled, the logic, it's easy for that. So for TickerQ, I used that approach, which wasn't like hard one, but yeah, you just get like to steal ideas from the others. Like I stole that from the controllers, and I stole the attributes from the controllers, and I stole the idea from the Azure function. So you have to build something based on the stealing the good things of the other libraries.
Yes.
I have stolen lots of features from Hangfire and Quartz as well. So this is how like I'm trying to build one project which has all of that. But I know that building that one, it's kind of hard, but with support that I got from lots of contributors, and also from Nick and the other ones who is doing the marketing. Yeah, it's keeping me like courage, and it's kind of getting me hyped to continue with that and not leave that project behind. So I'm just trying to put as much effort that I can after working hours just to work on that part. Yeah, because kind of for me it's kind of also fun to work in the TickerQ. It's not just a work that I have to do, but I enjoy that every single part, every single feature that I'm planning to build up.
Yeah. So this particular question, I know you might not want to answer it now. And I will tell you my reason, because we've seen
I, I
lately.
assume I assume what you want to say. Is it going to keep up like open source, right?
Yes. Because I've
I
seen
get that a lot.
the reason why I want to is simple, right? Because I think yesterday or day before yesterday, I saw your post regarding ABP framework that I've incorporated it.
Yeah.
And I know quite a lot of stars that that particular repo has gotten lately, and it's moving fast, more than what you even have envisaged, right? It's moving fast, right? So, and we've seen what Automappa did, what Midit are.
Mediator as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So, I just want to ask: is it going to be open source, and or later you are looking at converting it?
No, I'm actually a bit disappointed of Automapper and Mediator from Jimmy Bogdan,
Yeah,
because I
Jimmy.
was like, yeah, he was like idol for me because all of these packages and they were so viral and every company was using that.
Yeah.
And when I worked with Mediator, I like the structure how he built it up. I like I wanted every feature that they pushed in the mediator, I wanted to see it and review it. So I didn't just I just didn't work with simple sounds, but also with the streaming and lots of that, which helped me a lot during that time. When I saw it was like first April, right? And it was like lying days, and I said, okay, he's just lying. He's not making that real. And the next day, he made it like commercial. So yeah, I'm not disappointed with that. So I started to build up some wrappers for Mediator, which I'm using right now, just simple ones. I'm not trying to build up new Mediator right now because lots of people took that aspect. I was just trying to build up something that people like have needed for that one, and there is not like much packages for that. We have only two ports and like Hangfire, which are really famous, but the other one like doesn't fill up all the features to become like a real job scheduler. And my idea was, okay, I'm gonna stick with open source, and even if I do something, like I'm gonna build up something which is not open source, but every feature that I implement in that one will be open source as well. Like, for example, for .NET community, everything will be open source. I'm just building up like a SaaS product, which the same thing will run in uh, like TickerQ will run in a SaaS product, and I'm just building the SDKs for that, which everyone can do that, not just me. So anyone can make it that profitable, and I don't care for that one. I just want like to have something in the .NET which is open source and people can use it. I don't want like to make something open source first and just turning that to commercial. It's yeah, I'm not doing that for making money right now. I'm just doing that because I like .NET and I like how people get engaged with each other and do the contribution. So most of the people doesn't have money to pay for that, and even if they do, you are paying for that. So yeah, it's kind of nonsense. Like the whole idea of open source, I think, is going down a lot because of these kind of stuff that happen from from open source to commercial, and
Yeah.
people like get scared for that part. So I was also scared when I saw that post, but and when I created that, lots of people asked me like, "Are you going to make it commercial?" I said no, and I'm gonna say to you no because I already know the answer.
Okay. Okay, because you will have used it to build a lot of applications, and you just notice that wow, you're going for
And
Nigeria, and
you have the proof like in the video of YouTube that I'm saying no right now, right?
okay,
Yeah,
I will hold it. I will hold it.
yeah. You can audit that.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. The other things that I want to ask, you've been leading teams, right? Uh,
Yeah,
in maybe previous company and this current company too. You've been working
not
extremely
in this company, but the previous one.
previous
Yeah,
company. Oh, okay. So, in your previous company, how are you able to decide on maybe you want to go with a particular architecture, because in this .NET community we have different architecture depending on what you are
yeah.
trying to solve. But when you are leading that particular thing, how are you able to give the other team member that okay, based on this ABC, I think we should go with this particular approach and architecture. So how are you able to do that?
Actually, I had like a template because I'm more like a software architect than software engineer. Because sometimes it's just boring to make APIs, and I like doing the things deep inside to make architecture, make wrappers for everything, like how the things are handled in the best possible way. But I also know that over engineering stuff, it's bad, always bad. Like you have to make a solution which is good, but not try to make so over engineering stuff because you will fail at some point because you're not leaving like a space to add new things to do for new features. You're making it harder for the other developers which already joined
Yes.
because they may be not like used with your architecture and you're just switching everything like new to them. So I tried like to implementing onion layers as I think every company which is doing microservices and also right now as a single service. I was also using a mapper and Mediator, so I like Mediator. So it's just way better of like defining every endpoint. And if you just forget something, you can go to command or queries based on that service name, and you can find it easily, add, update, delete, like folder, and just do that. So Fluent validation for validating the API data, because yeah, I think the front end is not responsible for any of that. You have just to show the data. Front end is not responsible like for getting hacked or something like that. The
Yeah.
back end is the main part.
Yes.
But sometimes I know that front end can be more complex based on the design and features. Yeah, so that's how like I wasn't managing like lots of people, just a small team. We were like just 5 people, and we were working in that project for the bank for delivering the data to their asset managers. But it was lots of microservices, so the architecture was really clean, and yeah, I kind of like that. So and everybody that joined on my team liked the way that I worked because I'm also a person who like to teach the others like how to do things. And I know that sometimes I can be wrong as well because lots of people have proved me that okay, I'm wrong with this one. And I understand that and I learn from that. I like that a lot. So you just have to be open, like getting new ideas. If you're a person open to getting new ideas, you will learn a lot.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Thank you so much for that. Lately, right, my previous episode, we've talked about scaling, growth, and the likes. But I want to also put this to you, right? Many startup companies globally, right, not only Africa, globally, they struggle with scaling, and the scaling is coming from imagine that you are building a solution for my country, basically Nigeria, but along the line, you are able to secure funding and you want to move globally. You want to push the application globally. Some startup they will have to rebuild entirely, right? But from your own experience, what advice will you give engineering team that is trying to build system, that is trying to build, especially uh, build job system without overspending on infrastructure?
I don't know about that because the same thing happened on my previous company. The way that I was lead on that project was because we had to rebuild the application from scratch.
Wow.
And yeah, this was like a legacy project. And sometimes, yeah, sometimes it's better if you have one person that it knows the whole system and who is like smart enough like to put that effort in building the new one because you already built it that up. So it's kind of easier to make it like if you have the budget and these kind of things, um, like the members and the team which is good enough to start building that from scratch. But while that application is still like running, so you have then probably you can make like APIs running on different ones, like different projects. While you're building this up, you're also running on this one. So the same thing happened to my library, I guess, when I started to move from 2.0 to 8 version. I had to rebuild the entire core from scratch. I had no way that I would like start just improving that APIs because if something is started from in the wrong way, like building a house, if you start the basement in wrongly, you have like to turn it down and start
Yeah.
building it up again
Yeah.
because you're not making that good. You're making it worse when new features comes in. So sometimes you have like no choice.
Mm, okay.
I wish it could be like easier approach to do that, to handle it, just moving some ports. But yeah, because software is so dependent with each like APIs, each methods. Mediator is just a decapsulation of methods and APIs, but not the whole project. So it's kind of sometimes, yeah, no way that you can just handle all of it.
Okay. 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 Thank you so much for that. The other thing, you are the creator of developer tool. This is not actually the first tool that you have built, but I I want
How do you know?
I check your profile. I check your GitHub
Okay.
profile. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot, right? Before I actually contributed, there are a lot of things that I checked, right? While I was having issue, I also reached out to you on LinkedIn for me to just get clarification on a few things, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
one thing that I also want to ask, right? You've touched it during the course of my question, but I want to ask in general to basically understand the aspect of the biggest challenge that you face. Is it from the technical, is it from design, or is it from the adoption wise? Because now it's getting people are getting used to know about TickerQ, but what are the biggest challenges that you've actually faced?
Yeah, in the first phase, you kind of freeze. I couldn't catch that. What
Oh,
was the entire question?
okay, okay.
Sorry for that. But
That's fine. That's fine. So, what I asked was, as a creator of this particular tool, right?
yeah,
Uh, you've thought about trying to get people to use it at the earlier stage. But what are the biggest challenges? Is it technical? Is it design? Or is it the adoption wise? For you, right? I
yeah,
just
you're
want.
still breaking up. Sorry for that.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but sometimes you're just breaking up, and I'm losing the context of the question. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay. So I was just asking that what are the biggest challenge, right, that you actually face? Is it technical? Is it
Ah,
design?
okay.
Or is it
Yeah.
adoption? Adoption wise.
Uh, at first, it was like more design because when you start to build up a tool, it's you have to kind of check everything what's needed in the tool, and sometimes you just struggle because you don't know where to start. But before like if you don't start, you're never gonna get it. Even if you're in the wrong design, later you will learn a lot about the design. Because also one of the persons who was the contributor, he helped me a lot improving my current design, which I had in the TickerQ. It just gave me ideas. You have like to separate this one, you have to move this one, and I was just analyzing that. Why I didn't like thought this at the first place. Yeah, you never know. So you get ideas. So you just build a prototype, and people get involved to that. So after you kind of do the design, you don't know how much you will struggle to do the implementation because never things gonna go as you think. So
Yeah.
you just start to build up a feature, and you see, okay, this is like more than I expected, or most developers say this is more than I like planned for this feature. It's gonna be beyond the scope. So that's how like TickerQ's was during the like early stages. I was okay, I'm gonna build something within 1 month or 2 months, and it goes like 4 months, and I wasn't like ready for that because yeah, you never can expect like to be like precise in these kind of stuff. Then the adoption, telling the truth, I was like hoping that I get like 300 stars this year, and I got like 10x, like 3,000 stars, which was for me really impressive. And I never thought that it will be so useful too. I know that I started more building up because I needed that, but also the others doing like using that is much better because if you need that, yeah, you never know what features you're gonna need or the other's gonna need, and it gives you like more better way how you handle stuff, and also the others, if they know that you're using that for yourself, it's much better because they know that okay, this is going to be more stable because the person who is building up this, it's actually needing that. So
Oh,
I think also Jimmy used Mediator. I think for sure.
that's true. That's true. Uh, okay. I think time is fast spent. Just few more thing because you mentioned that different features. Even if you want to build something else later, it will still be open source. So I just want to ask, right? What is the next thing for you? Well, you've released version 8, version 9. So what is the next thing for you and for TickerQ? Are there features, extension that you are looking at, especially there is a .NET 10 now. Are there any features that you want to incorporate into it? You also mentioned about AI now. Are there anything that you believe that you can incorporate into the new fashion that you are going to also improve upon?
Yeah, if I would do it with AI, I will get more attention. I know for sure, but I don't know if there is some gap in the TickerQ to put with AI because it's already working with source generators, Rosalind, which it generates your code from behind. But that has nothing to do with AI because I had like to check every step how to build up that function behind, which is more easier to execute the jobs and to make like. Native device injection, which is right now in the TickerQ. And for the other features that I'm gonna implement, I'm already started to implement the Redis support, not just for dead nodes. I also started to build up the persistence in the Redis. I'm just checking which one is like more asked or more requested from the contributors, from the people that are using that. And
Yeah.
based on that, I'm building it up. That's how I build a TickerQ based on the like feedbacks. This is how is built a new version of TickerQ. It's not based on my feedbacks anymore. Yeah, probably because you're frozen, I guess. Do you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Thank you so much. I think my network went off for some minutes.
Yeah,
Uh,
no worries.
okay, okay. Uh, I think we are getting to the close of to round up. You mentioned something regarding you want to you are actually available to hold some people hands, right? Holding means that you have if you have the capacity, like you can mentor some people that want to go into maybe .NET, because the first post that I saw about you speaking, I think, is about mastering .NET. I saw that particular post. So I don't know
Yeah.
if I don't yeah. So I don't know if you're actually available, because I have friends, I have people that are actually reaching out, that they want to go into .NET because they know it is highly secured here and there. And I was like, where? Uh, should in case I have opportunity to get one or two people that can actually hold your hands, right? It's not that the people is going to sit down with you and be teaching you console.log or console.write. No, but there are
Yeah,
people that you can
sure.
actually reach out to that can say, okay, I've passed through this particular stage. I know the issue that you're facing. Do it like this, do it like this, do it like this, and you'll be able to actually pass that particular issue. So I don't know if you're actually available for that kind of things. Uh, so I can push some of my requests down to you.
Yeah, sure. I'm open to help and work in these aspects, and I like more like having things which are more like complex in this sport, but not as a full time or not having to spend a lot of time in that port because I already working with mine, my current company, and right now the TickerQ is more stable, and I hope I don't get like to work day and night as I was. But I know when I move I don't have anything else to do like from working in TickerQ all of the time. So I would check that out, and yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Before we round up, I want to, if you want to give like a piece of advice to developer out there that are into .NET, uh, that are also building on top of AI, if there is any advice that you can actually give to developers out there for them to just
Yeah,
keep
for
moving.
AI, I don't know because I already told you it doesn't give you like the dopamine that it used to be when you work without AI and you struggle a lot and you fix something and you're happy. So that's like kind of vanishing right now. So AI is getting advanced and more advanced lately. So everything, if you ask AI, it will give you like not 100%, but like for 40 to 60%, like which is correct because it's learning a lot based on that. And yeah, I would say to every young developer and who is working in the .NET and also in the other programming languages, yeah, just check it out, like every method, what it does, even if you don't know. Because for me, I started like that, and like long time ago, when somebody asked me what is MVC, I had no idea. And while I was working with MVC, so I had not knowledge in this theoretical stuff, but I was just checking, okay, I see a method, what is doing inside. I never understood that part. But yeah, after checking, like you start to build something and you kind of doesn't know how that's working. But after some time, you know that. And it comes a time which you know both of the parts and you don't know which is better. That's fine as well, because I was struggling a lot to understand which one is better. But then you just have the courage to know more, and you will find out soon which one is better. So that's how I like to start to program. So I just check if there is a new feature in .NET. I just go and check it out. Even if I don't know what it does, I just check, just see it, always build it.
Oh, okay.
So also from the other libraries, you can just go and check the source code. I know that it's really hard because they use lots of interfacing for abstraction, but yeah, just go and check how it's built. Because none of the tools are like crazy complex or crazy hard to understand. They are easy. Yeah, it will come a time which you think, okay, this is easy.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Albert, thank
thank
you
you, Babatunde.
for sharing your journey, your breaking down the engineering and thinking behind the background job system that you've built. Thank you so much. I think we've gathered of what we've gained one or two things from your experience, the journey and the what actually inspired you to build this particular open source library. Uh, I really appreciate your time. It's not actually easy
Yeah.
to to get someone like you to come on the show. I really appreciate it, sincerely
I
speaking.
actually appreciate like and want to thank you for inviting me. So yeah, sometimes it's not like when you ask someone to come to join the show, someone will say no. But yeah, this is an opportunity, a great opportunity actually for me. So I'm really thankful about it.
Thank you, thank you so much. To our audience, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening once again. If you enjoyed this conversation, please don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube channel. You can leave a review should in case you have any question about what we've talked about today, or something is not actually clear, because I didn't see any comment or any question. Should in case something is not actually clear, even after we are not live again, you can drop a message on the YouTube channel. I will pass it on to Albert. He's going to give an answer to that particular question. Thank you so much for joining today's episode. Until next time, I keep on saying, keep building and stay awesome. This is Tech Nigeria FM, where we spotlight builders that are shaping future of technology, not only in Nigeria or in Africa, but globally. Thank you so much, Albert. Thank you, everyone. See you next
Thank you,
episode.
Babatunde.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.